So today's video is in reference to an interview tip if you're going into tech, for specifically for tech support help desk roles. What I would suggest during your interview process is highlighting any type of customer service skills you've had. It could be from waitressing, bartending, whatever it is, whatever client facing customer service skills you possess or experience you have. I would definitely highlight it, even if it has nothing to do with tech. From experience, speaking to multiple interviewers or HR personnel throughout my tech job search experience, the main question, since I was going to gain experience for the help desk roles, tech support before leaning into cybersecurity, I was going for those roles more for the experience, hands on, because I only had schooling. The biggest question or the biggest skill that they were looking for beyond the technical part was, are you able to service our clients? Are you able to do it in a manner that is pleasing to our company and pleasing to our clients? And that is the biggest thing I love with out of all my interviews. They would like my personality and my people skills more so than any experience I was able to show on paper. So that's very, very important when you are going for these roles, to highlight and to focus on your customer service skills, because it's something that is missing, especially in these tech roles. With a lot of techies, more school based instead of more relatable, client facing, extroverted type of skills. And it doesn't have to be, I guess, extroverted, but if you can show that you're able to kind of communicate and relate to clients, no matter the situation or their approach. A lot of the questions that they do ask is the scenario of, if you have an angry or an impatient client, how would you handle it, or how have you handled it in the past? So they're looking for people who can deal with a multitude of humans, basically, and personalities, and are able to stay in their own space throughout these interactions with these difficult or these very pleasant personalities. In that question in itself, that scenario where they ask you, have you dealt with a difficult client and how did you handle that situation? My favorite go-to is, I remain calm. I don't let the client kind of take me out of my element. I'm here to perform a service, so I'm going to do my job and do my service and help them with their technical issues and just stay in my emotional space. Because if I start getting aggravated, or if I start, highly being reactive to the client or the end user's mood, then it's gonna shift me from my goal, which is making sure I solve the issue and staying in my space. Like, I do not want to be taken out of my space, out of my mood, that can linger on for the rest of the day because this one person, this one interaction. So you want to make sure you say something along those lines of, staying within your own space while you're dealing with a difficult client. But that is my biggest tip in these tech support help desk roles that you're going for. If this is your first tech job, or if you're trying to break into tech, if you're just needing the experience, it's good to get the tech support roles, because you're going to see a lot of issues, a lot of different issues. And then you're also going to have under your skill customer service skills, which is not only important in the tech field, but in actual day-to-day life. You need to know how to deal with people, all different kinds of people. You need to know how to maintain your own space, no matter who you're interacting with. And this is not just for your job search, this is also just for life. So you want to make sure that you're saying that these are skills that you demonstrate throughout life. Um, and it just happens to rub off on your, customer service experience, skills, whatever, for the job. You want to say something along the lines so they can know that you're you're about this life for real, of a good customer service life, or just in your own space type of life. And yeah, that is my biggest tip and trick for your IT tech support help desk interview. Make sure you not only focus on the technical skills, but make sure you highly highlight your customer service skills. Also, a second tip, when you go for these interviews, make sure you're always in the observer role as well. Make sure that you're calm, cool, confident, collected, and you're able to read the room. You're able to actually pay attention to the interviewer as much as the interviewer is paying attention to you. You want to make sure that you're letting them know that you're also kind of interviewing them. It's just not a one-way street, it's a two-way street. This has to be a match for you too. You have all these great skills, technical skills, customer service skills. You are an asset to this to this company, and you want to make sure that you're valuing yourself, and that you know that you want to let them know in not a direct way, but in the way that you're focusing on them as well, that you're paying attention. And you also need to know that even though we're here to get hired and to get jobs, we're in a job search, we want to get jobs, but if it doesn't work for you, if their structure doesn't align with your structure, or the way you do things, or if you're just not feeling the interviewer, or if you're not feeling the values of this company, you kind of want to make a seem, or not make a seem, but indirectly, just you're confident, you're observing, you're asking questions, you're engaging, because you also want to make sure that this is a good fit for you. And you can even say that as well. Just let them know, like, just ask the simple questions, like, what are your beliefs, what are your office politics, or whatever. I don't know, not office politics, but something along the lines, because you want to see if their structure, their values aligns with yours. That way they know you're a serious worker. You're here to handle their clients. You're here to get the job done. You're here. You kind of set yourself apart, because it just shows that you're a bit more aware. And believe it or not, sometimes awareness, and just having that dialogue with the interviewer shows reliability. They can pick up that you are business oriented, or you're just a serious individual. And along with your customer service skills, along with your technical skills, you just make a great candidate, a strong candidate. So you always want to make sure you're in that observer role. It's not only them that's looking for a job, an applicant. You're also, looking for a job that you want to go to every day. And sometimes the job that you want to go to every day is highly dependent on the people that are working that job. You can love to do one thing, but if you hate going there because the environment is not suiting for you, then it's going to eventually turn into something you don't love to do, or a place you don't love to go. So you want to take all of that into consideration, and to be able to take that into consideration and really dive into the ethics or the values of this Place Corporation, is by being calm, being collected, being relaxed, and being the observer as well. Not only are you going to be observing yourself while you're interacting in this interview, you're able to give yourself constructive criticism at the end of the interview, like, oh, okay, I could have done this better, but I still like the way I said this. I like the way how they reacted to this. If I get another interview, I can highlight on that. If this is not a fit for me and I go interview with someone else, I know that this little thing I said, this little thing I did costed a reaction, a little eyebrow lift, and I'm going to do that for the next one. So you get to kind of observe yourself, observe them, read the room, collect a lot of data to determine if this is the fit for you. And if this works, even if you're just getting this job to get experience and you're climbing, you're doing the going to be here for 6 months or a year. You want to be there for 6 months, but you want to be in a place that you want to be at for 6 months, or you can not, you can just go for it, because you have a different goal in mind and you just want to get through it and get that experience, whatever. But if you want a pleasant experience and you want to vet the place that you're going to be at for the next whatever amount of time, make sure you do those things. You observe yourself, and then not only will that help you on a day-to-day as well, observing yourself, having that awareness, you can just, that's a skill that you can translate into so many areas of life, so many interactions, so many things, because all we do really as humans is interact with each other. Sometimes the reason why we have such a traumatic experience with life at times is because the way we're interacting, the way other people interact with us. But if we can get to a space where we are aware of our interactions, then we're able to also see where other people are coming under reasoning behind other people's interaction, and that way you won't take anything personal, because you're aware of your space, and once you start being aware of your space, you also kind of understand that some people are in certain spaces and that makes them react a certain way, or just people are what they are, who they are and what they are, and all of that. I say, because you're just gonna start gaining so much information on your day-to-day life, with that level of awareness. But with that said, this is about your interview, so you want to take that attitude into your interview, and present yourself nicely and calmly, and knock it out and gather all the information you can about yourself, about the interviewer, and the situation in itself, and the job in itself. And good luck to anyone watching this and they have an interview. I hope you do great. I hope you gather the information you need for yourself. And I hope that whatever decision you make is the best decision for you and how you operate.